We're gonna start off pretty simple with this juicy, delicious hornworm.
Why did you do that? Why did you do that?
The worm seems nervous because this is my very hungry, very beautiful gargoyle gecko named Ohio. She immediately takes a big bite, but just as quickly as she gives it a chance, she violently rejects it.
Why does no one like these?
Some of these animals will love their new foods, and some will hate them, and now it's only getting weirder. Is it morally wrong to make a fish eat a fish? Well, not if a different predator takes the bait instead. This is my tiny pond ecosystem, and it's absolutely teeming with life. And this is a piece of salmon, and this is a sweet potato. Let's drop them in. The creatures notice right away, and the African dwarf frogs are the first to take a bite. These adorable little idiots that I love very much don't see very well, so it must be that irresistible stink that's guiding them in. LeBron is the white one, and he seems to like it the most, but Helen and Keller jump in too, and they're taking turns biting off massive chunks of fish. But after some time, their interest seems to fade, and some new takers are moving in. Snails, but they're mainly interested in the sweet potato. I let it marinate for a day, then a night, then 2 days, and the feeding frenzy grew with time. But ultimately I decided to remove the food because I don't want to cause an ammonia spike in the tank. Sorry, snails. It's really important we get every animal eating because it's breeding season, and a lot of them will need the extra nutrients to reproduce. Like Penelope here. This is a frozen thawed hamster.
Hey, sweetheart.
Penelope here is the type of girl to never turn down food, but she usually bites first and asks questions later.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see here she looks confused, like she just woke up from an 18-hour nap, because she probably did, but she's thinking about how to swallow this. But once she gets it down, all she has to do is find a safe place to digest her giant meal. Good luck, girl.
Oh my god, look at that lump.
Next up is an animal that almost didn't exist. This crested gecko started life in my care as an egg that I bought from a pet store. This egg was in very rough shape, but I forced it to be alive by incubating it properly, then hatching out 2 beautiful little crested geckos.
Hi. Oh my god, relax. Hi.
When I consider an animal a rescue, I adopt it out to supporters on Patreon for free, no extra charge. I also use Patreon to post travel clips, footage with some of your favorite creators. Yes, we're friends in real life, sneak peeks of upcoming videos, tons of different tips, and unreleased footage of animals and projects, sometimes years before they go public.
That one's filled with poo-poo.
Even the real sneaky stuff. Join the Patreon, check it out, it helps the channel out a ton. Thanks guys. One of our crested geckos, Bean, was adopted out, but Fortnite is still in my care, and I bet she would love this silkworm. Humans actually use these to produce silk for clothing. You can see that stringy silk substance coming out of its butt. But for animals, these are very high in protein, and Fortnite has noticed it right away. Then in one big leap, she grabs onto the delicious silkworm. But then what happened next shocked me. You can see her using her one massive brain cell to process this new oral sensation. I was excited.
Nice. What do you think?
But obviously she was not.
Oh no.
She dropped the silkworm and ran to the back of her enclosure to pout. If you're disappointed no animal is eating their bugs, same, but I have good news. Because later we'll be introducing a new animal to the channel that happens to be the rarest I've ever kept, and he only eats insects.
No way.
Sadly, the same can't be said for Fingers here, who doesn't like his bugs, neither acoustic nor electric. But this big boy is a fiend for some fruit, and this melon is all his. All you gotta do is make one thought today. Yeah! It never ends. You could do it forever. Let's check out the most intelligent animal I'm keeping, and I'm not being silly. These are my Paraguana Peninsula boas. They're very alert and super fun to interact with. Tim has an eye patch because he got poop in his eye again, so his vision's a little bit bad at the moment. If only he could use his tongue to see, like the boas, who are incredibly alert and instantly notice when something has entered the room, like food. Located just to the west of my bedside lotion,
Stop.
are a cup of frozen thawed chicks. Jenny here is extremely interested. She uses that forked tongue to sniff the air and dial in her next move. And when she locks onto her prey, she strikes. Jenny is notorious for taking a very long time to get her meal down, oftentimes sniffing and squeezing for about 20 minutes. But when she's ready to swallow, she gets it down with ease, always using her glottis like a snorkel to breathe while her mouth is occupied. From the biggest to the smallest, we've got a treat for the tiny lesbian gecko army that should be irresistible. Or so I thought. These ladies love protein, but they love fruit too, so I got them a strawberry. How could they possibly resist something so bouncy, sweet, and delicious. They showed some interest, but no one could find the courage to take a bite. And I still can't figure out why they were so nervous to show up for dinner. So I decided to make some changes. Oh, a cooking show with a live audience. The budgets here are getting crazy. How about a smoothie with a very special ingredient? All the ingredients can be found at the grocery store.
This papaya?
Yes, papaya.
Oh, thank you. Oh my god.
Like this papaya, a banana, a strawberry, and of course some protein. These ladies are much too small to eat these crickets, but not if you just... Our lady seemed to like this much more, because within just a few minutes, one made her way to the smoothie, where she sat licking for over 9 minutes. Then another. Then I thought to myself, imagine how many would eat if I left the room. So I set up a security camera and my suspicions were confirmed. Goodness gracious, look at that little horde of lesbians. There are much more than I thought living in this cube, so I think it's time to thin out the population, but that'll be a separate video. Like and subscribe. We're now moving on to a food I have never seen fed anywhere online, ever.
Whose dog is this? I don't have a dog.
An egg, but not just any egg. This is an infertile gecko egg produced by Miss Toes, and this is Snake Becca. Then what happened was better than anything I could have ever hoped for. At first, Snake Becca was hesitant. As soon as she noticed the egg, she pulled her head away. But gradually, she inches closer. And first, she smells the soil that's soaked in that delicious lizard stink. She knows there's food nearby. Then, as if she's seen these eggs hundreds of times before, she adjusts her angle to make her move. It's a little tough to eat a round, slippery object with no arms and legs for some reason, but over the course of 3 minutes, she swallows the egg whole without breaking it, and almost immediately after, she goes for the second egg, but this time she gets a little bit too excited and bites the egg the long way.
Oh my god. You're not getting it down that way.
But have no fear, an armless solution is here. She uses a piece of wood as leverage to get that thing straightened out. Then without chewing, of course, she gets that thing down. What a lovely meal. I'm so proud, but that's nothing compared to what we're ending with. The creature inside this box is the rarest animal I've ever kept by a lot because it's from Australia. This is my tiny desert, and this is an ant mantis. During the early stages of their life, they imitate ants, and they use this to their advantage, often blending in with ant colonies, then preying on the unsuspecting members of the colony. That is some real devilish behavior. Today, there are no ants. This mantis is not the predator. He is the prey. And the predator is inside this box. He's an excellent hunter, and he happens to live in this desert. Under the heat of day, the mantis is active and more or less safe, but the tables turn as night falls. This is Diplodactylus galeatus. They may be small and almost uncomfortably cute, but they are excellent hunters. Okay, don't freak out. Promise not to freak out. He's right behind you, and I think you've been spotted. But the mantis isn't totally helpless. If the mantis doesn't move, it won't trigger a food response. Then, the mantis does the opposite. He moves. And it's a great day to look like an ant, because here's the thing. Ants taste bad, I think. And predators know that, so they typically avoid eating them, and that's exactly what happened here. The mantis lives to see another day. But that's bedroom nature for you. I can't always control these little child actors, but I'm not ending on that. There are some foods our gecko cannot resist, and worms are one of them. How about 3 mealworms? And a hornworm. Yep, that one, but a mini version. Aw, so cute. Bop. Next week on Patreon, we're kicking off a new project, and next week on the channel, I think everyone's pregnant. Oh boy, do I hope. If you like this video, watch another, and if you really liked it, send it to your mom. Okay, thanks guys, I'll see you soon. Peace!